Okay, so today's topic is just basically we want to get the volume, right, in USD over time. That's just for this year, 2024. Basically, we want to get the volume from January 1st, 2024 to to date, like to today's date, on Uniswap V3 on Ethereum network. Right? It's a pretty simple query, at least on flip side, something like this. So this flip side now. So you can see how simple this query is. So we want to replicate this query right here on Dune. Like I'm sure everybody knows how to do something like this because if I remember correctly, our very first cohort, like the final week, Mr. Tubishi gave us something like this to solve. So I'm sure everybody can do this. All right. So we want to replicate this on Dune. All right. Okay. Okay, let's begin now. So, like I said, Dune is no different from Flipside if you look at it closely. They've changed. Will I say change? Let me see. Let me just go to it. So this is the main page. This is the very first page, right? This is the very first page, and these are the tables we're working with, right? Okay. So we are going to be working mostly with these two sections: blockchain data and curated data. These are the most important sections. This section is usually not relevant. My data is not relevant, but you can choose to work with it. But these are the main tables: blockchain data and curated data. Right. So this blockchain data has two inner sections, which are decoded projects and raw blockchain data. Okay. So let's just start with the simplest one, I feel, which is this one. So this should be the simplest one to everybody. Okay, so this particular section is blockchain specific. So these are all schemas or database, Ethereum database, Optimism database. So these are all blockchain specific. Meaning, if I click on this, right? If I click this is Ethereum, right? Every single thing I'm seeing here is on Ethereum network, right? So this is blockchain specific. It's similar to what we have on Flipside. Let me go to Ethereum. Like everything I'm doing, I'll just try to show you the flip side version so you will not be confused, since most of us are all used to flip side core, right? So the transactions table is exactly the transaction table here. Transactions, traces, they are all similar to this, So this is just basically stores the transaction table, but we will not be working with this for today because we are working on Uniswap, so we won't even need this for today. But just for you to just show that okay, this is similar to Flipside. So you can see the traces, the logs, similar to Flipside's version of event logs, transaction traces, transfers. Same with this, you can see them here, transactions. So they're all pretty much the same, right? So let's go to the next section. Curated data. This section is not blockchain specific. It's how I put it. It's a general. It contains general tables like tables you need like prices, labels. So they are not blockchain specific, right? They are more of intermediaries. They help you connect to other tables. For example, let's go to this particular one now, asset tracking. You can see it contains prices data, meaning that if I want to check the price of a, oh no, not this, not this. If I want to check the price of a token, I can just connect it to this place. Similar to Flipside's version of prices. Let's go to prices now, just check it out. So I have a code, so we might be hearing. Okay, so this is similar to Flipside's own price section, right? It also contains tokens. So if I want to, for example, if I want to, get the symbol of a token, or I want to get the real value of an amount, I can use this to filter it and divide by the decimals to get the real value, and also to get the symbol of a token, right? So these are some other tables here. They're all general tables. You can see these icons here. They are not blockchain specific. You get, so these are all intermediary tables or general tables, as I like to call them. Okay. This is also trading tables, also another form of, you can see DEX trades here, NFT trades. These are all just general tables, right? Same with labels. Like I said, labels, you can get This is for getting ENS of an address, that kind of stuff. So these are just general tables. We use them to connect to other tables to get insights, right? Now, this section is decoded project. This is where most of us have issues. Same with me, like, yeah, I used to have issues with this because I didn't understand anything about this section, but it's not really hard, right? The difference between this on Dune and Flipside is, unlike Flipside, when Dune decodes a project, they give you something like this, like the name of the project, and they also help you, they also outline all the contracts for the project and also outline all the events and functions of that contract of the project, if you get what I mean. Okay, so that what Flipside does. So Flipside will help you create every single event that contract has. Flipside will create tables for them. Unlike Dune doesn't have that feature. Dune just helps you, you can just connect to, let's say, for example, I got a contract I decoded on Flipside. I could come here and just use this particular table right here, you know. Then I can connect it with the address here to get the events of that particular project. But Flipside said no. Flipside will help you to, create events for all the contracts. Like every event will have their own table. Every event will have their own table. It's just like simple as that. You get. So this is mainly what we're working with. And also generally, if you guys have a project you want to, work on, chances are they might not be here, right? Because if they're new though, if they're new, but if they're popular, most likely you see them here, right? So you can see popular projects here. They're here already. But if they are new, you will most likely need to submit the contract here, right? Similar to Flipside, submit it here for Dune to decode. Then roughly within 24 hours, they'll give you a response. Then your project will be ready. Then you should find it here in this section, filter projects. You get. So this is just basically how it works. So, and this is what we'll be using for this section. We want to work on Uniswap. Since Uniswap is a project, so definitely we should be looking at decoded project because this is what we want to work on since it's a project. Can you guys hear me? I'm just now speaking to myself. Can you hear me? Just like do like a symbol or something like that, or like wave an emoji. I don't know. Can you hear me? Okay, 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 okay. I wanted to know. Okay, 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 okay. So yeah, today's section we just want to know the volume over time from that's for the year 2024. Yeah, the volume over time for the year 2024 of Uniswap V3 on Ethereum network. So basically, we'll just be replicating this table here. We'll see how we do it on Zoom compared to Flipside. So yeah, usually when you want to find the project, you can just type the projects here. Then luckily for you, if it's decoded, you find it here. So I typed Uniswap. So I'm picking Uniswap V3 because our topic for today is just on Uniswap V3. So I'm picking Uniswap V3. All right. Okay. Um, we notice all this you are seeing here are all contracts, they're all deployed contracts under Uniswap V3. Every contract here has their own functions and events. But usually in this space, as analysts, we use events more because events are better to query, easier to query, and make sense to query compared to functions, right? So every contract here all have their own different functions and events. That what makes Dune unique, right? What do I mean? If I go to Uniswap, this Uniswap V3 does currently, right? Uniswap V3 does, then this is under Ethereum deployment. So you can see all the contracts deployed under Uniswap V3 on Ethereum. You can see all of them here. Uniswap V3 multi-core. You see them. There are about 18 here, I think, or 17. I don't know. 18, 17 thereabouts. So you can see all the contracts here, which are all deployed under Uniswap V3. All these contracts all have their own events and functions, or let's just say all their own events. You get. So these are all of them. You can see factory. Let me go to factory. Sorry, let's go to factory. So you can see factory here. This factory. You can see factory here. Pair. I think there's a pair function here, although they just picked one particular pair. Yeah, this is a pair. Pull and pair, they're the same thing. This pull and pair in swaps, pull and pair, they are roughly the same thing. So yeah, so you can see pair. Then can see, let's go to this section here. router. I can see universal router. I think I saw universal router here. Yeah, I can see some router here. Swap router permits. So this way it works on June. Okay, quota. I think I saw quota here. So these are all the contracts, right? All these contracts that I'm seeing here, they all have their own events and functions, right? So this particular contract just has function, it doesn't have an event. So let's go back to where we were before. So now, just don't fret when you see all this contract. Don't fret because usually, you wouldn't even need to work with most of these contracts here. They're all for fancy or for developers, I think. So yeah, so you would need to work with most of these contracts here. Like for this scenario, for our case study today, we're only working with two. These two are both factory and pair, right? So we only work with them for today. Yeah. So let's begin. I also want to teach you guys how this stuff works. So you can see now. So now after we compare contracts, so this is the pair contracts. You can see all types. This all types just contains events and function. I can filter for so you can see all these are event and function combined of this pair contract. Just this pair contract. These are the event and functions of this pair contract. If I go to factory, I will see the events and functions of this factory contract. You get so you can see how Doom sort of partitioned it. If I go to this one again, this contract, same thing also, event and function of this non-fungible token position manager. I think I saw it here. Non-fungible, yeah, see it here. Non-fungible token, yeah, this is it. That's the contract, right? So you can see it here, you can find it here. So but like I said, for this case, we only need this first two. For this case, for our scenario, we only need this first two. Okay, so let's start with pair. This pair contains all the events we need that contains our swap, swap metrics, that kind of stuff. So yeah, so we're working with this swap events table since we are dealing on swap trade on Uniswap V3 over time. Like I said, if you notice our flip side example here, you can see Ethereum plus DeFi plus EZ plus DEX swap. So basically, we are just replicating this on Dune, right? Okay. So yeah, so I made like just a summary of all the tables you're working with. Like I said, you're working with 4 tables today. So this Uniswap V3 Ethereum table here, this swap table here is just for retrieving pool activity, which is swap volume. Then I will explain these remaining three later. Let's just have an idea of what we are doing today. So let's begin. Select or Dune and Fix I have similar syntaxes, so you should not be worried about. Okay, hey, I just remember something now. Look at this. This is the table we're working with, but you can see some stuff like some characters behind it. This stands for the project. This Ethereum stands for the blockchain we're working on. Ethereum. If you remember that Uniswap primarily is on multiple EVM blockchains. I think yeah, you can check them here. You can see down Avax, Arbitrum, BNB, Base, Blast, Celo, and so on. But in this case, we only want Ethereum, right? So we can see this is the project, the blockchain. This Ethereum is the blockchain. Then after this full stop is the contract and the event. So this pair is the contract. This event swap this swap is the event. So luckily for us, they gave us the swap close to the event text, right? If I do say for the mint, this is the mint table. You can see Uniswap V3. It shares the same with this Uniswap V3. Ethereum is the blockchain. Then pair is the contract. Then the difference here is just the swap and the mint. So this is for the swap event. This is for the mint event. So you know what I said that do create tables for every single event. So these are all the events now. This is a separate table for this event, right? Okay. So let's just get that one in check. So let me just use the limit 10 so I can see this in full action. Okay, it should be running now. Okay. So you can see that this is unlike Flipside's own, table. This is a little bit, this is less detailed compared to Flipside. You can see we don't have the token swapped. We don't have the pool. Okay, we have the pool. Yeah, this is the pool. But without the token swapped. And we notice that these amount values here are highly inflated, but we can always, cut it down, get the real value of this thing. Yeah, you'll notice a minus sign here, right? A minus sign here. This minus sign just, tells us the direction of swap. So we can tell that this fellow here sold amount one. This minus is sold. When you sell, you are losing. You are not losing entirely, but you have, sold is like something leaves you. So this guy sold amount one. I'll sort of, make it simpler for you guys. This guy sold amount token one to get token zero. You get, so token zero amount one, token zero goes with amount zero, token one goes with amount one. I will tell you, I will show us how to get token zero and token one in just about a bit, right? But this will be the key to get this column will be the key to get token zero and token one. This is just basically the pool contract, right? Before you trade in Uniswap, Uniswap has to support the pool for you to trade, right? So for them to support the pool, they have to create the pool, right? So that's what we will use to get the token zero and token one that we'll use for this particular table to make sense, if you know what I mean, right? So let's just look at the transaction house to just, let's just copy the transaction house to have a look at this transaction. Ah, I don't like this. Let us scan. Let us wait for a few seconds. Okay, I'm in now. I don't know why this guy is asking for them, but I'm human. Okay, just wait for a few seconds. But yeah, let's just, oh, why is this wasting my time? But yeah, we are going to use this corner address column here to connect to another table entirely that we'll use to get the token zero and token one. Because usually in a trade, you have to, a pool is made up of two tokens, usually token zero and token one. Oh, why is this wasting my time? I'd love to show you guys because there's this method we use. Okay, finally. Okay. Let me just show you this method, right? To make this make sense. So this is the pool contract. Let me just copy and paste this here. And just copy and paste the pool contract here. Okay, so you can see that this contract here seems like a DAI pool, right? DAI pool, but let's get the tokens that makes up the pool, right? To do that, just have an idea of what I mean. In this section here, you can just click on contract here, right? Then there's this way we use to get this. Click on read contract. Sorry, for read contract. Okay, so you scroll down a bit. Good. You can see token zero and token one. These are the two tokens that make up this pool contract here. This is a DAI pool contract, as we can see above. This is a DAI pool contract. But with this now, with this section here, you can determine the tokens that make up this pool contract. You get? Okay, so I'll click on this arrow here. Token zero, token one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on these tokens to know what they stand for. This is token zero now. So let's know what token zero is. Okay, so this is DAI stable coin, right? This is DAI token. So that's the first token. Token zero is the first token. Then token one is going to be this. Let's know what this is. So this is the wrapped it token. So with this now we can know that, okay, this pool is the DAI wet pool. DAI, which is DAI here. You can see DAI here, DAI here, Then this is a rat eater. So with this, we can know that okay, this is this particular contract now is the DAI. Let me write this down. Let me just put this down so I can have an idea. Wet pool. Now, what we will do now is we'll use this pool contract here to connect to another table via the join function to get those token 0 and token 1. We get right now. So let's do it now. So at least now with this, now we've got an idea of what this is all about. So let's just, let me just remind you guys how I did this. You click on the contract section here, this contract section here, then you scroll down a bit. You click on read contract, read, not write, so read. Okay, read contract. Then you come here, token 0 and token 1. This is how you can just, have an idea of what makes a token pool. It's very easy. Okay, so now we've got an idea of this first section. This section here is our main section. This is where we'll do our activity, like we'll get the volume, right? This table here, this swap table, this is our chief table entirely. We use it to get the activity, right? So from this table now, I will need the event block time. From this particular table, I will need the events block time. That's this time here, event block time. I will need what do I need? I will need the transaction hash. This transaction hash here. Let's call this event transaction hash. I will need the transaction hash. What do I need again from this? I will need the amount 0. Of course, I will need the amount 0 and amount 1. Don't worry, guys. I will, connect this amount 0 and amount 1 now, just in a bit. Let me just, amount 0 and amount 1. But like I said, we don't need this. We don't need the direction of swap at the moment. We don't need the direction of swap. So we can use the absolute function. What this does is just removes all the negative, values. Like absolute just converts negative to positive. So what we'll do is we'll use absolute function for the amount 0 and the amount 1. Let me just show you how it works. It's just pretty easy. What this does is just it takes off every negative sign. I'll just call this amount 0. Yeah, amount 0, right? So I'll do same for this. I'll call this amount 1. Okay. Then since I said I want for the year 2024, right? I just want throughout this year, basically throughout this year. So I can see where event block time, right? Event block time greater than or equals to 2024 01 01. So we can cast this as dates. Casts as dates, yeah. That's the only way to work, sure. That's going to work. Then I also need this. I also have to date strong this so that can get the correct value or the cleaner results. Yeah. So this is just telling us I want for this year, throughout this year, this particular clause. Okay, so let's connect to the other table. That's where this particular table comes in. Right? So we are working with the factory contract and the pool created event. So I said here, this table is important to retrieve tokens traded in a pool. So I just want the token 0 and token 1 from this table, nothing more, nothing less, just those two. So what I will do now is I'm going to go back to my Uniswap V3 here. Click on, like I said, factory. Yeah, so this is factory contracts now. So typically we only want the events. Good. So we can see that this particular contract has like 3 events, but it just needs this particular event table. It contains, you can see now, token 0 and token 1. So do what we need to connect to this to make this our table make sense. This our query makes sense, right? Let's just have a preview of this table. Okay, so this table looks like, pretty much. So this pool here, this pool column here is what we use to connect to the contract address column in the swap table, you get via our joint statement to get token 0 and token 1. All right. Okay. So I think that should be clear. Let's just make this clean. So let's connect to this inner join. In Dune, you don't need to type this one by one. You can just click on this arrow by the side to just bring out the whole table for you. Okay, let's call this as A, right? As A, as B, right? So I can say on A dot contract address. I'll call this contract address is equals to B dot pool, right? Good. Pool. So with this, I can now extract the token 0, this token 0, put a comma, and token 1, right? So you can see. So now let's just run this query. Let's run this query now to see how sensible, how it makes sense, that kind of stuff. How, yeah. Let's just run this query. Okay, it's ambiguous. Let's make this. It's ambiguous. So let's make this A dots. Yeah, I want for the swaps. Then I also want this in. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So you can tell that it slightly makes our query now slightly makes sense. Token 0, right? The amount traded or the amount swapped, should put it that way. Token 1, right? The amount it sort of makes sense now from what you are saying here. Sort of makes sense. Okay. So we are sort of done with this mini section. So let me just create a CTE to just highlight it for you guys. Our next, what we'll do next is to one, I want to know, just for the fun of it, I want to know the symbol of each of these tokens, token 0 and token 1. Okay. And more importantly, I want to fix these inflated values we have here. I want to fix these values we have here. So I can use a particular, let me just create my CTE first. So that we won't be confused. I don't need this. I don't need this. Okay, so let's call this swaps. I just call this swaps for the fun of it as my CTE. Okay, so next thing we do is to fix the amount columns. These columns. We want to fix this. We want to fix this. It's inflated as always. Okay, so yeah. What we'll do next. So this particular table now we serve to this table is a general table. Like I said, it's not blockchain specific, and like I said, it's used as an intermediary to connect to other tables, like we want to do now. So used to retrieve symbols of tokens. Like I said, I want the symbol of token 0 and token 1, right? And to get the real value amount, very important. As you can see, these values are heavily inflated. So yeah, let me just comment these out. So what I'll do now is let me comment these out. So our next section, our next area of tokens dot, I'll just type it here, tokens dot area 620. Or if you feel it's stressful for you, you can just let me delete this. I'll just come here and do like this. I'll just come here. Same thing. The table is here. So right, this table here, this small table here will be our key to get the symbol of token 0 and token 1. And because of this decimal column, we'll use it to fix these inflated amount values, right? Okay, so let's connect to this table. Okay, so select from swaps as a, let's just use a left join because left join, left join as, let's call it T. All right. Okay, because we have two columns, we want to connect this thing to. We have to join to this table here 2 times, right? So I'll call this T1. I'll call this T1, right? So let's on a dot. So I'll use this token 0 column. This token 0 column will be used to connect with this column here, which is called address, to get the symbol of this token and to also fix the amount 0 column here. While this token 1 will do the same function. Let me just show you guys how. Okay, so a dot token 0 equals to t1 dot contract address, right? And okay, and sorry, and because this table is not blockchain specific, it's better to filter for Ethereum just in case, just to make our values, better or cleaner or our results better. So what we'll do is I will filter for only Ethereum blockchain because right now we are seeing Avalanche here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do T1 dot blockchain is equals to Ethereum. Oh no. I need it in small caps, yeah. Okay. So yeah. What we'll do next is we'll do the same for token 1 column here. So we'll just copy this and repeat the same process for token 1, but we'll change some minor details. Right. So we'll call this T2 now. But this time around, we'll connect it to token 1 column. Token 1 column here equals to T2, then T2 dot blockchain. All right. All right. Okay. So now let's get all our columns back on track. Okay. So I want this from this. I want this. I want this. Right. I want transaction hash. Right. I want the token 0. Okay. And I want the symbol of token 0. How do I get that? This is a symbol here. This is a symbol column here, right? So I'm going to say T1 dot symbol. Then let us call it symbol 0 so to match with the rest. All right. So I'm calling this symbol 0 for token 0. Okay. I also want the amount 0 column, which I'm going to fix right now, or which we will fix right now. Let me just get this. Okay, so to fix this, the usual way, just divide this by raised to power, 10 raised to power decimals. So I'm going to say 10 raised to power T1 dot decimals. Okay, so let's call this amount 0 new. Let's call it amount 0 new. Okay, but there's a small problem. There's a high chance that Dune will not have the token you are requesting. That's just it, sadly. So what we can do is we can use the coalesce function because most ERC20 tokens generally have 18 as a decimal. We can say if is null, right? If it's null, um, if it's null, give me 18 as a decimal. That's just what I mean here, right? 18, sorry, not 19, 18. This is just like a foolproof or a foolproof just in case anything of that sort occurs, because most likely Dune might not have that particular token. So it's my return no. So I'm saying if it's no, just give me 18 as a decimal, right? Okay. Token one. I want token one from this. I want token one from this city here. I want the token one. Okay. Um, I want the token. Okay. I want the symbol of token one, right? So I want to say T2 dot symbol, right? As let's call it symbol one. So to match, so to be consistent. Symbol one, right? Okay. Now I want to fix amount one. Okay. I want to fix amount one. So I'm going to fix that right now. Okay. So um I'm going to use the decimals, the T2 decimal, because T2 connects with token one. Just so you know, T2 connects with token one. So I'm going to say T2, not T1, T2 the decimals, right? Then same process. If amount one is null, just give me 18. Just give me, because like I said, most ARC tokens or all safe. Let's say most fall under 18 as decimals. So we'll then call this amount one new, right? So okay, I think we've been able to make this make sense, sort of, right? We're able to make it make sense. I don't know. I also want this just I also want this event block time to be truncated. Let's make it truncated. Let's just make this truncated. Okay. Let's just make this. So I'll just call this date as date. Pretty much as date. Okay. So let's run the query to see how it looks like. Let's put a limit function just to make it to not run forever. Just save and run. Oops, I did put a comma. Okay, let's see how sensible our query is. Okay, good. What do you notice now? We've been able to, get. We've done two things now. We've gotten the symbol for each token, right? And we've gotten a more sensible amount column. You can see now it's fixed already. So the amount column now looks sensible compared to the last time. So we've done two things now. We just this table. This table now has helped us achieve two things. This table here has helped us to achieve two things, right? Okay. Let's just confirm with a transaction. Let me just use this as my transaction hash. Yes. So let me just copy and paste this transaction here. So I'm copying and pasting this transaction, this particular one. Let's just see how it looks. Okay. So this is for BUSD and sorry. Oh no, not this. I wanted the wet. I wanted the wet. Sorry. I wanted the wet. The wet token. I don't want this. I want the wet token. So I want for this particular, I want to get that just for you to just see how it looks like on Etherscan, this particular section, wet and CDT, right? CDT. Okay, so swap transaction looks like the guy sold CDT on Uniswap V3 to get wet, right? You can see something like that here to get wet. Let's confirm with the value. Okay, so the guy sold 2,251 CDT right? I can see 2021 CDC here. Yep. He sold this to get wet, to get 0.92 wet, right? To get 0.92 wet. You can see it matches. So you can see 0.926 wet. So he sold this to get wet or wrap ether, anyone. 0.926 wrap ether. Okay, so we've made sense of this particular query, right? So what we'll do next is to get these values now in USD, right? We want to get them in USD. In USD. So how we do with that? We'll connect to another general table. Like I said before, we'll connect to prices.usd table. Just simple. Used to retrieve the amount value in USD. Very simple, right? So I'm going to go back to this section here. Then, like I said, this particular section contains general tables. I'm going to go here. I think I found this table. Okay, yeah. Boom. Prices.usd. Okay. So this is just how it looks like. Let's just preview the table. So basically, just pretty much the same thing. We connect it via the time and the address to get the price. Okay. All right. Let's comment this out. Let's comment this one. Okay. Yeah. So let's create another city. We'll call this swaps new. Let's just call it something funny. Swaps new. Okay. Swaps new. Call it swaps new. Let me bring this up. Okay. So what we'll do next is to connect. Let me just show you practically how it is. Select from swaps new, right? We'll connect this to the prices table, right? To the prices table. Okay. So let's call this A. Then let's call this let me just retrieve this table first. Let's retrieve this table. Okay, let's call this P, but P1. P1 because as always, because we are working with two tokens, two amounts, we have to connect to the prices of USD table two times, right? So I'll call this P1. Okay, I'll call this P1. So on A dot token 0 equals to P1 dot contract address, right? So we'll use this to what was this? No. Okay, so we use this to connect, to the token 0 table to get, the price, blah blah blah. Then let's connect on time. So I can say a dot date is equals to p1 dot minutes, right? P1 dot minutes. This isn't the cleanest way to get this, but there's a way I prefer, creating my prices table. But let's just do this for now. It's not entirely the cleanest method, but let's just work with this. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So as always, we'll do it again for the next column. So we'll call this P2, right? So we'll connect the token 1 this time around to the same. We'll call this token 1, then P2 dot contract address, and also the same thing for the minutes. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that should be good. That should be good. Is there anything else? Yeah, that should be good. So, as always, what do I want from my previous CTE? I want the date because I'll use it to check it the value over time. I want the dates, right? I want the dates. I want to convert this value here for the amount 0 to USD and do the same to this to USD. So let's just convert this to USD. So I'm going to convert this to USD times P1 dot price. Okay. This is the price column. This is the price column here. So I'm going to, click on it. So I'm going to call this amount 0 USD, right? Amount 0 USD. So I'll do same for the amount 1 column. I'll do same for this column. Yeah. Okay. So times P2 time around dot price. Okay. As amount 1. You guys can ask questions though. Because some it's like I'm talking to myself, but sure, let's just finish. Okay. All right. So this would give us the value in USD. Okay. So what we'll do next is to get the cumulative value, that kind of stuff, over time. We're going to group this. We're going to let's create another city. Let's create another city. Another city. So let's call this final. All right, final. Okay. Let's call this final. Okay. Select from final. Usually when dealing with swaps, and you're calculating volume, you don't really need to. You don't need. I don't need these two columns. I only need one of it. But to make it cleaner, I can use the coalesce function like I did in my two-side query. Just make it clean. So I'm just saying if this is null, get me the next one just in case. But technically, we don't need two columns for swap volumes, right? So what I'll just do is I want the dates from this. Give me the dates, right? So I'm going to say coalesce if amount 0 USD. If for any reason is null, that's what I mean, which most likely might not happen. But if it's just null, right? Give me the amount 1 USD. All right, give me the amount 1 USD. Okay, so now I want to sum this value up, to get the value over time, right? The volume over time. So let's sum this up, right? Yeah, I think this should be it. Let's call this volume USD. Volume USD, right? Group by one, obviously. We have to group by one. Okay, then let's say for the phone number, let's just get the cumulative value. Yeah, the cumulative value of this. So let me just create another sort of statement. So over, right? So I'm going to call this total volume USD, right? Yeah, I think that should be it. Oh, wow. Wow, wow. Okay, wow. The query is somewhat long, but it's not too long. Okay, okay. So, yeah, let's just hopefully we don't have any errors. Okay. Let's look at how it looks like. You can ask questions if you have, but let's just look at the end products. If you have any questions? Okay. All right. Okay. let's create a chart for this, right? A chart for this. So let's create a chart for this. Bar charts. It's not really difficult to create bar chart on Dune, okay? Oh, why is my page refreshing? Okay. So let's name our x-axis. We'll call this date, right? Let's name our y-axis volume USD. Volume USD. I know Dune has this feature where let me just show you guys. Dune has this feature where you can put, for example, since this is USD, I can format it to show just dollars. Let's just do that now so you guys can know what I'm talking about. How do I do this now? Okay. Let's first make it two decimal places, right? Two decimal places. Then I think if I put the dollar sign here, okay, yeah, good. Good, good. So I'm going to do the same thing here. Let me just copy and paste this. Okay. So now our table looks, sort of cleaner. I don't know. Okay. So what? You can see that for the year, like throughout this year, Uniswap V3 has traded roughly around $261 billion. Let's just confirm it with a. Okay, so on June, Flipside calls it, what's it called? Flipside calls it big number. On June we call it counter. All right. So this counter is just to show a singular number, just like Flipside. Flipside is big number, I think. Yeah, big number. Okay, so yeah, $261 billion roughly has been traded this year so far on Uniswap V3. Okay. Yeah, I think this should be it. So let me just do the same for Flipside. So let's compare Flipside results. So you see all this you see how Flipside made it easier for us. Just everything you're seeing here is typical, it's just the same. Let me just run the query. Everything you see here, just this small little thing here, is how to do it on Zoom. How to find it on Zoom. All this query you're seeing here is just how to find it on Zoom, right? So, okay. Should I create a chart? Let's create a chart for this. So basically, we're just comparing Flipside and we're comparing Flipside to what's it called? Okay, I think it's similar outcome here. There's a spike. There was a spike on a particular date. Yeah. So let's create another chart for the singular number. Legacy. No, not this. No. I want total volume here. Okay. Flip side is roughly around 260. Okay. Yeah, it's close. It's really close. It's really close. It's really close. Yeah. So for Flipside, it's showing roughly around $262 billion traded for like throughout this year. Why Dune is showing 261.9? It's still close. Yeah, $1 billion. I guess the reason for the slight difference is because of this my price. My price. This particular phrase here because if I use it the proper way, this will run forever. I don't know why Dune has that feature. I don't know why. Like it makes me angry. If I use it the proper way, Dune will crash. It will load forever. So yeah, I think that should be so. Okay, let's just give our chart a title. So I can name our chart our dashboard here. I can name it here. Let's just say Uniswap V3 V3, right? Uniswap V3 swap volume. Oh, yeah, swap volume over time in 2024. right? In 2024, right? Yeah. Okay, let's create a dashboard. Yeah, dashboard. I think yeah, that should be the next thing I should talk about. Dashboard. Let's just call this cumulative blah blah cumulative value, cumulative swap. Uh-oh. Cumulative swap volume in USD for Uniswap 2024 in 2024. All right. Okay. Let's create a dashboard. It's not hard. This there's a three I call it three icon here, three dots. Just click on it. Click on add to dashboard, right? Then I want to create a new dashboard. So I'll click on new dashboard, right? Then I'll just type Uniswap, Uniswap V3 swap activity, right? So 2024 activity. Activity. Okay. So let's save the dashboard. Let's save it. Then I'll add to the dashboard. So I'm going to click on add. So I'm adding this chart to the dashboard. So I'll click on add. I'll click on done. I'll do something for this, right? I'll click on this three dotted spot. Click on add, then click done, right? So to find my dashboard, what do I do? I'm going to go to this library section, right? This library section above. Click on it. Okay, click on it. Then click on dashboards, just to filter. Just click on dashboards. Then click on Uniswap V3. Yeah. Boom. All those charts now. Look at it here. So to edit the dashboard, I can just click on edit. Or let's say I want to arrange the dashboard, just to arrange it. Click on edit, right? Click on edit. Then I can make this smaller. I don't know how you guys do. Yeah, I'll make it. Let's make this smaller. Right? And let's make this bigger. Okay. Then what else? To add a text. To add a text. Okay. You just click on this add text widget here. Click on it. Same with Flipside. Flipside. Dune also has this feature of what's this language called? Is it our language? I don't know how to, but it's supported. So meaning I can just type. I can make it big. The more, yeah, I can make it big. Let's just call this Uniswap. I can also make this bold. To make this bold, I can just put star, around it, two stars around it. Yeah, yeah, Markdown. Yeah, that's Markdown language. Yeah, Dune also supports Markdown language. That's the word. Uniswap V3 2024. Right. So what I'll just do is I'll click on save. Yeah. Then unlike flip side, when we do something on Dune, right, there is no publish button as you are creating the dashboard. That's where it is. Anybody that has your link can see this thing I'm doing now. There's no publish. There's no publish function in Dune. Once I click done, anybody that has my profile can see this thing I'm doing now, even though I'm still working on the dashboard. You can feel it. So that's just the difference between Dune and flip side. Okay, I think I'm done. Any questions? Oh, good. Can you guys hear me? I'm done. Oh, oh wow. You can ask questions if you need. Oh wow.
Okay, thank you very much, Toby. Does anybody have any questions to ask so that we can, end this session if there are no questions? Daniel, you didn't hear.
Wait, what?
You must be joking.
That's be a joke, man.
Okay, so I think there are no questions. Thank you
Oh,
very,
no
very
question.
much. Yeah,
Okay,
thank
yeah.
you very much, Tobechi. And if anybody has any question that maybe in the course of going through what was taught and you remember, you can just, post it on the group and to be
Yeah,
answered.
sure.
Okay, Ade, do you have any question?
I can ask you a question. You can ask it. Is someone speaking? I can't hear the guy properly.
Ade, we can't hear you.
Okay, Ade Press. Okay, I think that's the guy, yeah.